Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 30. Tonight, we talk Pikmin Go, Monster Hunter, and our guesses for Nintendo's plan for the new fiscal year. That and more. Well, I am joined tonight by fellow Nintendo pal, Micah.
Yep.
And I am Andros, and we are the Nintendo Pals. This week we are not joined by a guest, so it's going to be just us, celebrating 30 episodes. We did it. We've made it to 30.
Yep, and we definitely didn't just realize at the start of this episode.
Yeah, it's been a while. Anyways, how are things going for you? How's life right now, man?
Pretty good. Just same old. Applying for a bunch of jobs.
Nice. I have had quite a busy weekend. We typically record Friday nights, but this weekend we're recording Saturday night because I took one on a family camping trip last minute yesterday. And my kids woke up at about 4:30 this morning, and we we packed up because it was wet and everybody was crabby, and we went home. And at 4:30, before the sun came up, so we all went back to bed. Now that was fun.
Nice. Even the kids?
Yep. It was still dark out, man. They went back to bed easy, and they were tired. They were super tired. It was so fun though. We had a blast. It was a good time. And then today, my son had two friends that had birthday parties, so it was like just go all weekend basically up until now. I feel exhausted, but I'm looking forward to this episode because I just get to sit for an extended amount of time. Yeah. And
Sounds exciting.
We went to another arcade for one of the birthday parties, so that was cool. And this arcade had some pretty sweet Nintendo games. I guess I'll talk about that in the first segment of our show. So let's move to it with Whatcha Playin. All right, Micah, I will let you go first, since I've barrel rolled through this talking so much.
Don't think my list will be quite as extensive as yours. I only got around to playing two different games, and they are at least slightly different than my usual.
All right.
One of them was still Rocket League, of course, but the other one I played was some good old Valheim.
Did you play solo?
I did play solo because my friends seem to be busy all the time.
I know.
When we try and get together.
This list is going to make it seem like that's not true for me.
Oh yeah, very interesting. You're just telling us you've been busy this whole time, but I actually, now that I knew what to do, since we had already gone through it, I practically speed ran through the first two bosses.
Nice.
So that was pretty fun. I saw a troll chilling right outside of its cave, and I was like, oh man, I want that troll hide. So I went and killed it, and I was like, I guess I'll go pillage this free cave now. I walk inside, start picking some mushrooms, turn around the corner, and there's a freaking troll right there with a tree as a weapon. So that was fun. I'm pretty sure I died, but I ended up getting my revenge. I was not expecting there to be a troll inside the cave when there was a troll right outside.
It was
probably
his brother.
A couple or something. Yeah, now I feel bad.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun.
Can't believe you. I don't think we've taken out a troll in our game. They're pretty tough.
No, but yeah, me and Eli had taken out one, and by me and Eli, it was mostly Eli distracting the horde of those gray dwarves while I shot at and the troll was also chasing him. I just shot at the troll a bunch with my bow.
Nice. Valheim's going good. That's such a fun game. Yeah, I want to play a little bit more solo as well, but I don't know. It's more. I think it's more fun with more people, personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, cool. So I played quite a bit this week, just like lots of short bursts more than anything. I finished the Pillar Puzzle Escape and Pinkman Plus, two games that I did reviews for on the Nintendo Dad's YouTube channel. The Pillar Puzzle Escape unfortunately did not save. I did the second to last level and it didn't save. So I had to do that level again, and that was kind of lame. I was a little frustrated that I had to do that one again. And then the last level, I did have to look up what to do because it gave absolutely no instructions for the end, and you're just sitting there. And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And it was kind of killer to get through. You run through a maze, and it is pitch black, and it's just blinking lights on every like 5 seconds, like boom, and you can see just a little bit in front of you, and then you have to wait, and it's like mega seizure inducing. So if you're not into that kind of like flashy light stuff for whatever reason, definitely avoid that last level. But other than that, the game is a blast. I really enjoyed it. Pinkman Plus was really short, but so fun. Such a good game. I really liked that one. And then I also finished the Terrytown quest. I don't think I talked about that since we last recorded. That was a blast too. I started on a clean file and just like beelined it for that quest. And it was really fun to play that way because you have to go to each of the areas and but like recruit people to come move to the town. That their name has to end in Sun. You have to like go to each of the places. And that was so fun and such a rewarding quest at the end with the wedding. And they're like, do you promise to like hold, I can't remember the wording exactly. It was like to stay with is it Hudson? I think it's Hudson. Stay with Hudson and promise to name all of your children following the naming guidelines by Bolson Construction. And I just died. It was so funny, and everybody's like, "Yeah, this is a great idea." And you could, and his bride is like, oh, "Is this real?" It was so fun. Yeah, that was a good quest and fun to dive back into Breath of the Wild. And then in addition to that, I played a bunch of Mario games, man. I played some Mario 35. Got to get my run of that in before it is gone forever.
Oh yeah, coming up pretty soon.
Yep, 31st be out. Let's see, as when this recording goes live, it will be like 2 days. So played that. I played some more Mario 3D World with my wife. And we are on World 6, I believe. So
Have you collected everything so far?
Yes. Getting close to the end. Nice. I'm excited for that. And then lastly on my Mario list, and this is where I am excited to talk to you about this because I am going to hurt your feelings probably. I played...
Nah, I'll just probably think you're crazy.
I played Super Mario Sunshine. And I am not enjoying my time. Let me just say that at this point, I am committed. I'm going to beat it because I want to beat every mainline Mario game. And it's Sunshine, Super Mario Bros. 3, and New Super Mario Bros. 2 are the last ones that I need to beat. But I've played through so much of Sunshine, and I'm like, am I not progressing? And come to find out that I looked it up. You have to beat Shadow Mario on every level, or on every world, to unlock the last zone. So I've been doing all these extra sprite shine things for no reason. I would not have done them.
For the reason of enjoying yourself, because it's a great game.
It's... Okay, there are so many levels. I must have died like 50 times on the no flood levels. Like, the physics are so broken, man.
Good.
I was on... I'm getting stressed just thinking back to my experience with this game. It was a level where it takes away your flood pack and starts, doing that music that means it's like the harbinger of doom music. Let the acapella. And I'm like, oh no, it's that kind of level. And you have to get across this path. The first part's all right, and then you have to cross blocks of sand, and the blocks last for like not very long, and then they'll disappear. And then you have to jump from that onto a moving platform that twists as it goes up, and then
This sounds awesome so far.
more sand blocks, and then get to the shine. I died so many times on the first bit of the sand blocks just because you have to turn. The camera motions are kind of wonky, so you have to turn the camera and get Mario to aim correctly. Uh, I tried taking it slow to make sure I didn't die, and I actually had an easier time just booking it, like just going as fast as I could and hoping. And then that platform is like this screw shaped thing, and it twists as you go up. So you have to jump to stay on the flat portions. And Mario's collision in this game with objects like that is a little rough, in that if it's just slightly too angled, you'll just slide off, and I just would fall to my death, and then you have to start all the way back to the beginning, do that whole first section again, all the sand again. So I finally made it to the last sand section, and I was like, the sand is starting to sink, and I'm like, I just gotta go for it. And I dive. There's the platform with the shine. I like, yeah, dive forward, and I hit the corner of the platform
right off it,
and fall straight to my death, like 2 feet from the shine. There was much weeping and wailing, gnashing of teeth. I was so upset. I was like, I can't believe it.
This sounds like a great game and a great time that you should have been having.
Yeah, except,
but did you ever,
I
make it.
I like Super Mario Sunshine. I think by far it is the worst 3D Mario, by far. And it's just because the controls aren't as responsive as you'd like. He feels like you're controlling a sponge that sometimes gets stuck on pebbles and can't move anymore. Like, his collision feels too strong and not strong enough at the same time. You know, when you play Mario Odyssey, Mario Galaxy, even Mario 64, the movement of Mario just feels so good. You're like, everything is responsive with your button presses. Maybe this is a problem with the port. Maybe there's like a weird lag a little bit. That could be. But everybody I've talked to has been like, yeah, I kind of agree. It's the movement's not the best. Flood, awesome. But you take away Flood, not awesome. Very not awesome game.
I mean, have you ever considered, just to make it a little easier, getting good?
Oh, well, I did beat those levels.
It can do wonders. But that does remind me of a time there. I know there's one shine where you have to like ride Yoshi across boats out into the ocean or something, and it's like really hard to get there. And then you get to the level, and I freaking lost all my lives the first time, and I had to get back to the island again, and that was pretty rough. But it's memorable, and I love that game.
It's very challenging. I'm going to beat it, but I am not.
I do like those really
it.
challenging games. So
I don't mind really challenging levels. It's the frustrating part to me is the control of Mario.
It feels challenging because the controls aren't.
Yeah, not because of the platform.
Very good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's where I say it's probably the worst Mario. If they just took it and gave him like just cleaned up his controls, I feel like I would really like the game. The world and the characters in it are fun. I do like a lot of bits about the game, but I just wanted to rant about my terrible time with the floodless levels. I must have lost like 40 lives. Luckily, there's like a 1-up. You have to find them on these levels. There was a one where I have no idea how you were supposed to get up. I don't think I was going the right way, but it was just a straight vertical wall. You had to do a pretty technical wall jump to get up to where the shine was. I'm like, I have no idea how I'm supposed to get up here. Because if you did the wall jump wrong, you would just fall to your death. Because all of those levels are just floating in space, basically.
Yep.
And there's no gravity like Mario Galaxy. where you're saved by the planet's gravity pulling you back. Anyways,
Yeah.
I yeah. Yeah, so that's my experience with Mario Sunshine. I will conquer that game. I don't think I'm enjoying it, but I am and I'm not.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
then
all
besides
these
that,
things you said have just made me want to play it even more.
besides that, I played some Clubhouse 51 games. Had some fun with that. Just doing some random online games. Fortnite, a little bit. Played a match here and there.
Nice.
And then Animal Crossing. I jumped into it to try out the Island Tour creator. And wouldn't you know it, it was raining. So I was like, I'm not going to make videos of my island. It's pouring down rain.
Look how awesome and
Look at my
tropical my
town.
island
Yeah.
looks.
Yeah. I feel like when that update comes out, they should have like also sent out an update to be like, okay, no one can have rain today. Sun for everyone.
Some people like rain.
True. They could have had my island tour. Yeah. So that's it for me. Oh no, I also today tried out the Monster Hunter Rise demo. So let's talk about that. Monster Hunter
Nice.
Rise came out this weekend. Super fun. Uh, I enjoyed the demo. I picked the wrong starting character, I think. I tried the gun lance because it's a gun lance. I don't think there's much of an
Enough said.
much more of an explanation than I need. But my son was watching me play it and he's like, "Can I try it?" So he tried on his account and he picked the double sword and then handed me the controller basically to play for it. And the double sword is so much better than the gun lance as far as speed while having your weapon out. The gun lance you could like hardly move, and I don't know if there's range on it. Like I assumed there would be and there wasn't that I could figure out to like shoot the enemies. So I'm gonna go back to it. Maybe do you have the demo downloaded? We should try the multiplayer.
Yeah.
We should try the
Oh
multiplayer.
yeah. I forgot the demo has multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely try that sometime. Because
Ah,
I think I picked some bow or something the first time, and I couldn't figure out how to like. There were like different ammo types or something, and it took me like the entire demo to figure out how to change what I'm using.
yeah.
I just really struggled. I had no idea what I was doing. I
So
needed a little tutorial.
they had a tutorial. Did you do the tutorial?
I do not recall there being a tutorial.
There's like a basics tutorial that doesn't teach you about the weapons at all. Not at all. I'm like, it teaches you how to move, how to use the little lightning bug things that let you
Oh yeah,
zip
yeah.
line, and how to ride your pet dog horse thing, the palico. Palico is that what it's called? Those are awesome,
I
by
don't
the
remember.
way. Those are the coolest. The little cat that you have with you that like dresses like a ninja and fights. This game is so cool. It just oozes to me like, oh man, this is just like such a Capcom game. it just it's it's great. And I like it, but I felt just lost. And I felt
Yeah,
like it would be a lot more fun multiplayer. That's the
yeah,
whole time I'm playing. I'm like, this needs more than just me playing in order for this to be a fun experience. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. We'll try the multiplayer. Maybe I will be
yeah. That
convinced to
might
get the
convince
game.
you.
Yeah. Uh, Besides that, I talked about we went to an arcade. This arcade had a Mario and Sonic at the Olympics arcade machine, which my son played. My son did all the arcade games. I didn't want to take away from the birthday experience by being like, "Hey, can I play?" So, but I got to help him do the controls, and he did archery on that. That was pretty fun. And then they had a Mario Kart arcade. Did you know that there was an arcade version of Mario Kart? And
Did
did you
not.
know it's awesome? It's
Does it
awesome.
have like a full wheel and pedals or something?
Mm-hmm. Yep, full
Oh,
wheel and pedals,
nice.
and really cool maps. It looks like it's done in partnership with Namco because Pac-Man is a playable character, and so is that little drum
Interesting.
character from that one Beat game. Gosh, what is his name?
A little drum character.
Yeah, gosh. Well, okay, I've got
I'm
to
I'm lost.
I've got to look it
You
up
just,
now.
you just looking up little drum characters, see what pops up.
Yeah, drum character in game. Whoa, drum character game. Oh, come on. Taiko drums. Taiko drums? Taiko drums? Boop.
Oh, yeah.
Those little guys.
Okay. Didn't know those were like real things.
It's from a rhythm-based time travel game. Anyways, that's what my son picked to play as. And they had a co-op mode. So they had two arcade machines. Him and his friend played, and they had a co-op mode where the items that they used paired them together, almost Double Dash like. They were racing separately, but then they used an item that uh, pulled them together and turned them into a tank. One of them driving, and the other person on top turned the wheel and hit the start button to shoot shells.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and
Put that in a mainline Mario game.
the thing is, I'm like, why is this not like released elsewhere? Because this is really cool. It was very good. I'm actually quite impressed with how that game was.
Yeah, give us Double Dash 2.
Yeah, or even just a double dash mode.
Quadruple dash.
Just a double dash mode would be cool. Yeah, four. What would they
I mean,
do?
what?
Who knows?
Well, yeah, maybe it also involves flying, and two people, one each controls one wing.
That sounds horrible.
Just to make it real difficult.
Maybe it's like Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time. You have a car, and you have to run to different parts of the car to drive.
That'd be terrible.
Really, I just want another one of those games. That game's great.
Oh yeah, for real.
Yeah, so that wraps up what I've been playing. I like it sounds like a lot, but I really just played a short bursts of everything.
Really just been way too busy to play Valheim with me and Eli.
Way too busy to play Valheim.
No, it's mostly just the time difference.
Yes.
Causes issues.
So, yeah. Well, let's jump on over then to the Nintendo news. And headlining today's Nintendo news, we have Square Enix Presents. And funny that this is headlining because there was absolutely nothing for the Nintendo Switch announced. That's not 100% true. They showed again Balan Wonder World. More like Badland Blunder World, because that game's apparently really bad on the Switch, and just in general, it's not being received well. And I looked at gameplay and was like, this is not the game. This is not a game for me. Not a game for me. Yeah, but so they had this whole presentation. It was Square Enix first time doing a direct of sorts, and they announced like Life is Strange stuff, Tomb Raider stuff, even ports of the old games. Nothing for Switch. Nothing. Not even like those old games being ported to Switch.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird.
It is weird. Life is Strange feels like that should be on the Switch. I kind of thought it was on the Switch, actually, but it's not. So, yeah, it's... I do not... I don't comprehend why a company like Square Enix, where they have done so much partnering with Nintendo, they're putting out so many games on the Switch. Like, all these Mana games, Project Triangle Strategy, Octopath, all those. It's like, why did they do a presentation and not have any Switch content? Like, at all. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, unless they just don't think Switch owners are interested in those kinds of games, I guess. And the things they have put on Switch have all been pretty much along the same lines.
Of the, like, old school
Like
RPG.
the old RPG, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just weird to me that that big companies seem to, when they do all these presents, they leave off Nintendo stuff. And I don't quite get it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Because it seems like it's a very viable platform, uh, and like why leave it off? I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they only think that people? Well, the thing is, they're showing stuff for PS5 and Xbox Series X. No one even has that console right now because they're all sold out everywhere. There's like it's so limited in what's out there, and yet you have this system that's sold 80 plus million units, and you're not even acknowledging they exist. Big
Yeah.
mistake in my mind, as far as the presentation goes. At least give something. Yeah, maybe it's a deal with Nintendo where they can only present their stuff in like Nintendo Direct form,
Mm.
but it seems unlikely to me.
Yeah.
So there's that. Um, and then awesome. It's like Micah News Central here with Niantic and Nintendo collaborating on a Pikmin AR app. I mean,
So
you're a big fan of Pokemon Go, if I recall. Like you played quite a bit of that. Still play it? Oh yeah, maybe still.
yeah, I mean, I still hop on every once in a while, but yeah, it's pretty fun. I was one of those guys in Pokemon that would try and catch like one of each Pokemon as I went through. So I'm kind of into those collecting things
Yeah.
games.
What do you think of this
But
Pikmin one?
I wonder what the gameplay is going to be like because I don't imagine you're going to be running around collecting Pikmin. So I'm very curious like what it's going to be about.
Can I tell you? I think I'm hopeful that this is a worker placement game. So you've got like Pokestops basically, all around these areas. Um, and you have Pikmin. So you go out on a walk and you can choose to leave a certain amount of Pikmin at this stop to do some sort of collecting or some sort of thing. And
Yeah,
then at the end of your play session, you blow the whistle and they all come back with whatever they've collected. And so
see that?
it's a matter of, oh, I need to go over here to get this type of resource or this type of resource. I don't know what you'd spend it on. Maybe you're upgrading your ship, or your character, or getting more Pikmin. Yeah, but I hope it's like a worker placement game because that just feels like that would be really cool in mobile form.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how it turns out.
Yeah.
And did
Uh,
they have a release date time frame? I don't
no,
remember.
I don't think so. I think it was just
Hey,
it
this is happening.
it was getting leaked, so they just came out and officially were like, yeah, that's
Uh,
what we're doing. So we'll see how that goes. And
and is it
then
actually going to be called Pikmin Go?
no, no,
Okay.
no, I
What I
do want
really want though is a Metroid Go. That's where it's at.
yeah. Why isn't there a Zelda thing? That seems like one that would make sense.
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
feel like both Zelda and Metroid should have come before Pikmin.
Well, I think maybe they don't want to. I mean, I guess Metroid actually doesn't necessarily sell all that well compared to their other games, but I think maybe they just didn't want to start with such like their top tier IPs.
Yeah, that's why they
They
started
don't
with
want to
Pokemon.
dilute it or
Just kidding.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Pokemon just fits too well.
it is interesting to see where they're going to go with their mobile strategy because they, I believe, stopped partnering with the company that made um, Mario Run and Mario Kart Live, not Mario Kart Live, Mario Kart Tour.
Uh,
Because yeah, I mean to be honest, those games aren't awesome. They're not bad. They're pretty quality, but Mario Run just does not seem worth it to me. I'd rather just play Mario. I don't like auto runners for Mario. It feels weird. Um,
yeah,
and then the Mario Kart. all of so the thing is on in both of those games cases, I think they're high quality productions and doing some cool stuff. Mario Kart especially, holy cow, they've got way better alt skins than any Mario Kart game ever. But
You'd rather
I
just
just
play Mario Kart
yeah,
on
I'd rather just
Switch.
play the game somewhere else where I have full controls and I'm not limited by their really pandering to the mobile. Like, oh, you have to be able to play with one hand, so all you can do is jump, or all you can do is slide your thumb back and forth to kind of turn. You're gonna auto go. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah. But then
I
again, I mean, they wouldn't really want to make really an exact clone of Mario Kart because then there'd be no reason to play it over the Switch version.
yeah, I think they just got to go different, like with Pokemon Go. You know, Pokemon Go is not like any Pokemon game, so they just got to do something completely different. Not try and mimic the game with mobile controls. I just
Yeah.
don't feel like that works as well. So there's that. And speaking of Pokemon, next news segment, there's new footage released of the of Pokemon Snap. Did you get a chance to look at that?
I did.
Nice. What'd you think? I thought that was super cool. I thought it was super cool.
Yeah. I didn't see them have rocks. I believe in the first one, you just had pebbles you could check at Pokemon.
It was apples and pester balls.
Pester balls, oh yeah.
They took those away
It's
because
kind of rude.
yeah, yeah.
But that's like the
It's
best
funny
part. You
because it's funny where we've come as a society because back when did Pokemon Snap first come out? It was like 2000, like
yeah,
late 90s, early 2000s. Um, I don't remember anybody being like, "Oh, we can't use pester balls. That's rude. That's like
that's terrible.
that's hurtful to
Yeah,
animals." But
we're all like
now that's like
just spamming the pester ball.
absolutely not. That's not gonna fly. And
Yeah,
it's just funny because just the world's changed. Um, Probably for the best in this case. It's funny. So now you have that like light ball thing that makes them
oh yeah,
glow.
glow and potentially do other fancy things.
Yeah. Did you? So I thought what excited me about the trailer was the branching paths. They showed that there was the potential to go different routes, and that more Pokemon appear the higher experience level you are, or different Pokemon appear, and there's alternate times of day. So you stack those three things together, and one level could have like a lot of replayability.
Yeah, hopefully there just aren't like 3 levels.
Yeah, I mean they haven't shown a ton. You seen the
Yeah,
beach
I think
level,
yeah, I think I've only seen 2,
but maybe that's just to avoid
but
spoiling the
yeah,
whole game. I think that's
I'd
probably
assume so.
probably the case. Full voice acting for all the characters in cutscenes. That's
Not
new.
gonna lie, I'm not super excited about that.
I mean, but that's like totally new
Yeah,
to
it
Pokemon.
shows they're evolving.
Ah,
Pun not intended, but
well, I mean, it. I played Pokemon Sword and Shield. Not both. I played Pokemon Shield, I believe, um, briefly, and the intro cutscene is so awkward without voice acting. It feels weird because the like president of the Pokemon League guy is in front of this stadium of people and he's just like holding his hands out and just mouthing. Like and then you read the dialogue on the bottom and it was weird. Like
would have been better if it was like
yes,
the pick.
even just that would have probably been a little better. But I think full voice acting is where the series needs to take it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I, yeah, I'm for that. Hopefully, hopefully more games do that. This game looks really good. It looks a lot better than Sword and Shield. I'll say that. Like all the Pokemon models and
yeah,
whatnot
like
look a
the
lot better.
trees.
Yeah, you know how I feel about those trees.
Jeez. Oh yeah. Andrew hates trees.
Ah,
All trees.
trees are the worst. um, the water looks really good, which I don't know if you remember
Almost Paper Mario good.
yeah, almost Paper Mario good. The first trailer, the water was like that looked a little weird. Whale Lord comes
Yeah.
out and it's like real particly and
It like
gross.
looked pretty good until things were interacting with it kind of.
Yeah.
Then it didn't look quite so good.
Yeah. So I am excited. I whatever fence sitting I was doing, maybe I had a couple fingers on the fence in case I needed to hop over. Um, I'm no longer. I'm far on the side of buying Pokemon Snap, new Pokemon
Nice.
Snap, because it just looks good. I'm excited to relive some childhood nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. So with that, let's move over to the next segment of our show, which is the rumor mill.
Man.
All right. So the source of all rumors right now, Bloomberg,
Oh yeah, for
has
real.
has come out and they've put all of their stock into this Switch Pro thing. Switch Pro is supposedly going to be priced between. Did we talk about this last week? The price? I don't think we
I
did.
don't think so. We talked like a little bit in the Discord
Okay, so
over the last week.
the rumors are saying that it's going to be priced somewhere between the 349 and 399 range. So it could be there. Speculation is saying
Well,
349, but could be as
I'm
high as
thinking if they
399.
yeah, I'm thinking if they go 399, they'll go more like 397, just so it can be like it is cheaper than the PlayStation 5 digital version.
Yeah, yeah. When you start doing that, that is the problem. When you start comparing it to prices of other consoles. Oh, the digital version of PlayStation 5, is it 400?
I think it's 400, and the disc drive one is 500.
I thought it. Okay, okay.
I could be wrong.
I could be. I don't know. This is a Nintendo show. We don't know what how much PlayStation costs.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's even some weird Xbox. The naming for Xbox has gotten so
Xbox
confusing.
Series S
It's like
is
a 300 version.
yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was real cheap. Because of those prices, I think it's more likely going to be at the 350.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of on board with your thought. Well, you should just say what your thought was on how they make that work.
But yeah, I guess I was kind of thinking that. I mean, it depends on how much of an upgrade this new Super Switch Pro, whatever you want to call it, is going to be. But I was kind of thinking along the lines of 350 for that, and they'd probably drop down the Switch to 250 because it sound from what I've heard, which isn't too much. It sounds like the Switch Pro is going to be a pretty beefy upgrade compared to the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the Switch has been out, I forget, like 4 years. Am I correct in that?
It's 2017. Yeah.
Yeah, about 4 years. So I mean, the parts are cheaper. I think they could sell it at 250 and be making the same profit essentially.
And then Switch Lite, I just to tack
Which,
on, I think the
yeah,
Switch Lite will also drop $50 if
yeah,
they
I
if
think
they
that'd
do
have to
that.
drop. To
And I think a Switch Lite at 150, Switch at 250, and the Switch Pro at 350 is such a good pricing strategy. Like they would sell
although
like
I feel
crazy.
like they'd actually go the Switch Lite 180.
180.
That's
Okay,
my
yeah,
random change.
yeah.
Yeah,
If they lower the Switch Lite, they're gonna sell a bunch of Switch Lites. The $200 price point, you just bring it down just a little bit. I think a lot of people
I
are gonna
mean,
be
yeah.
like, yeah,
Once
I
you get
want this
below
portable.
200, it seems like it's a lot less.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and bringing down the Switch, the regular Switch, I just feel like they do that pricing drop at this point uh, would give them a huge boost to their console sales for the holiday, this coming holiday.
Yeah. Although to be fair, they don't really need a huge console boost. Seems like it seems to still be selling like hotcakes.
Well, they might if this next report has any credence to it. I believe it's Bloomberg is reporting that Nintendo's projecting their best fiscal year ever for this coming fiscal year, starting April 2021 to April 2022. As far as software sales go, they're hoping to sell just tons.
205 million, although they might have upped it to 250 or something.
Yeah, I
remember
think
correctly.
it's somewhere like over
their
200
original was 205, I think, and then they upped their estimate.
So this to me seems a bit bonkers, considering that they just had one of their greatest that this current fiscal year, which it's not done. So, could they
still got what, 4 days?
Yeah, yeah, it's done very well, considering how well Animal Crossing
just Animal Crossing itself. It kind of sounds like maybe they have some big gun games coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. What do you think is going to make this possible? They have to have something, right? Because you can't sell that many units. You can't beat Animal Crossing's whirlwind, lightning in a bottle success that it had with timing with the pandemic hit and like all of that, like extremely boosted sales this year, and they want to do more than that in this next year. Wait,
yeah.
Are they predicting a second wave of pandemic? That's terrible. No.
That would be terrible.
No.
Yeah, well, it was even more crazy when I first read it, because I read it as like 200 million console sales. I was like, what is wrong with them? There's no way. Are they insane? Then I saw it was software sales. I was like, okay, that's quite a bit more reasonable, but still pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if they're expecting that, they got to be releasing Breath of the Wild 2 sometime this next year, and I would have to think some other mainline Mario game.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of predictions out there for Mario Kart 9. Now, you got to think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is like the top selling game on the Switch and continues to sell really well. Could be. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So you're predicting Breath of the Wild within this fiscal year then? Breath of the Wild 2?
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking
of course, Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah. So
I'm hoping to just will that into existence.
The thing about Metroid Prime 4 is like I don't feel like sales numbers are going to be quite the 200 million booster type stuff. So I don't know if that one would be factored into this prediction. I hope that it comes just for your sake. But I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be a Mario Kart 9. It's not going to be a Breath of the Wild 2.
It's not going to be Mario Kart 9, but it seems like lots of game series have been revitalized on the Switch. It's like every game's doing its like their top sales practically. So I don't know. I'm predicting Metroid Prime 4 will actually do quite well. I know they.
Oh yeah, no, this one's going to do better.
Haven't really sold that well, but I'm expecting the sales to be pretty good.
Yeah, this one's going to do better.
But I mean, of course, it's not going to be a Mario Kart.
Yeah, this is going to do better than all the other primes. That's what happened for Pikmin 3. Like, which one was it? Pikmin 3 Deluxe. It sold really well for a Pikmin game, so that's cool.
That was practically just an enhanced port.
Yep. So my predictions: what kinds of games sell like crazy like that? I do think I'm thinking the Mario Kart thing's got to be a deal. There's no other Mario title that will sell quite that much. I don't think.
Mario Odyssey 2 could happen.
I think Mario Kart will outsell Mario Odyssey 2.
Yeah, probably.
The other one I thought, and this might be wishful thinking on my part, but I think a Wii Sports something. Wii Sports is huge numbers, and then that was also because it was a pack-in.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
you look at Wii Sports Resort, also did really well, and that was not a pack-in. Technically, I guess it came with the Wii Motion Plus accessory, so it's
who
kind
knows?
of a
Maybe they'll
pack-in.
make all of our dreams come true and have Nintendo Land ported over.
Yeah,
That by itself, I think, deserves 200 million sales.
that's that is true. But I do think
Three per Switch.
the name and game of Wii Sports being more like casual. So if you, I hate the term casual. I don't like using that for like, oh, this is a casual game.
Casual.
But a game that appeals to a just a more chill market, I'd say. We'll
Yeah,
just go
I
with
mean,
that.
I feel like you can call things casual. Just some people think of it negatively, and they shouldn't.
I mean, I'm
But
one of
like,
those some people, huh? I think yeah. Yeah. So a game on the more casual side of the spectrum, like Animal Crossing, sold incredibly well, which definitely shows that there's a market for that sort of thing. And so I feel like a Wii Sports title would be a number buster. The other thing I think we could see happen is some more discounts and bundles of games. Uh, we had a 35% off
well, they just
bunch of
give out
Mario
150 million free games
to meet the numbers.
to
Here you
match their
go.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. The other thing, oh my gosh, I almost completely forgot my big prediction is we're getting something Ocarina of Time related. And definitely within the next fiscal year we're getting those other Zelda ports because those are easy. Wii U, they're already on the Wii U. It should be fairly easy to port to Switch, and it's just free money and software sales, and they're coming separately. That's I mean, if you were hoping they were bundled, I'm sorry, I don't think that's going to happen. If they're trying to sell this much in software, they're going to sell those separate. So we're going to have Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, but Ocarina of Time is widely considered the greatest game of all time. Like you go to all these like what's the best game ever lists, Ocarina of Time is, if not at the top, in the like top 5 most every time, just because it is a game changer as far as gaming goes. So something Ocarina of Time, is it going to be a port? I hope not. I hope it's more of a
4K HD remake.
I hope it's an HD. I hope it's an HD remaster, maybe starting with the 3DS version as a base.
I'm a little less convinced of that because then that would require a bit more effort.
Yep, yep.
So you'd have to redo a lot of models. I feel like the models might actually look worse in HD if you
From the
don't do some
3D,
touch ups,
from the
or
3D.
from the original at least.
Oh yeah, oh
I
yeah, for
haven't
sure.
played the 3DS, so I
The
actually don't
3DS
know.
version actually looks pretty good, and given that they are porting Miitopia, and Miitopia looks really good, I could see Ocarina of Time
Yeah,
3D coming over.
but the graphics in Miitopia, like the Mii's, essentially are circles and triangles. I feel like that's not too hard to improve.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think it's coming in some way, shape, or form. We're getting an Ocarina of Time thing. Mario Kart, Ocarina of Time. Anyways, with numbers like that, we're seeing something big happening for the end of this year, and we don't know much, if anything, beyond uh, Skyward Sword. Gosh, I was like Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time.
Ran through every Zelda
Skyward,
game.
yeah, like Skyward Sword in July. We don't have much beyond that as far as news. And fiscal year ends next April, so it could be coming early next year. But they're going to try and get stuff out for the holiday. I'm hoping the Switch Pro is a pre-holiday launch. I'm also dreading trying to get one in current
Yeah,
shopping climate, which is everything sold out, scalped to oblivion.
yeah.
Dun
I'm
dun
dreading
dun.
there's going to be a Switch Pro and Metroid Prime 4 is going to be exclusive to it.
I do not
Not going
think.
to have the money
I
currently to
hope.
do that.
I certainly hope not. Yeah. So big year for Nintendo. I think we hope. They hope, apparently.
Yeah, they must know something.
All right. Well, now
I
that
mean,
we've
hopefully they know
taken
more than us
all these
since
rumors with the biggest
they
grain
own
of
the company.
salt I've ever seen, uh, let's move to the last segment of our show, which is the community corner. And for today's community corner, we are going to be talking about the best and worst Nintendo games of different IPs, and we're gonna talk about why we think that. And we'll each give our own answer. I'd say. So, let's do the big ones last. We'll maybe start from the bottom.
Let's start with the ones we don't actually have any right to judge.
Yeah. F-Zero.
Definitely the original,
I'm
because it's the
for
only one
best for
I've
the best
played.
one.
Yeah,
Best one, I will say the GameCube one, even though I have not played it because that was great. The GX, GX,
yeah, I think that sounds right. Yeah, I mean, I've. It sounds like that's the public opinion.
and the worst one, I have no idea. I haven't played any of them. I haven't played a bad F-Zero game that
Yeah.
I. so so hey, there you go. No worst
Yeah,
one for a.
I got pretty good. I mean, pretty into the original on the virtual console, so it's pretty good. It's still held up.
Okay, well let's talk Fire Emblem. That's another one we're not qualified to talk about since we've like played none of those.
Easy. Three Houses is the
Is the best
best,
one. I'm gonna say I'm
I
gonna go with
guess.
internet opinion on this one and say Awakening is the best one. That
I
was
have no idea.
Fire Emblem Awakening was the first one on the 3DS. It's one with Crom and Lucinda and
Wait, is it
Robin.
Lucinda or Lucina?
Lucina, not Lucinda. You're
Oh,
right.
okay. I was like, have I been thinking it wrong this whole time?
Nope, I'm
Okay.
just tired. uh and Robin. Wait, there were three characters from that one Fire
Ah,
Emblem game in Smash Bros. Yeah, so that one's the best one. The worst one, I'm going to say the first one.
I was thinking the second one.
Okay, yeah. Which one's that one? I don't even know.
Fire Emblem, yo.
Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem,
The second one.
the Blade of Light. Is that what the first one's called? Probably. I,
have
I, I
no
don't know.
idea.
I haven't played it, but I'm just assuming that it's the worst one because it's the first one. Like they've gotten better
Yeah,
since
they
then.
hopefully gotten better.
I mean, they didn't even
Yeah,
port
I've
it. They
only
didn't even port it to the states until this year. I mean,
yeah.
that
It
has to
must
be a
be
bad
terrible
sign.
then.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, I've only played I played on a friend's Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or something at some point, and I actually really enjoyed it. But for some reason, I've never owned a Fire Emblem game myself.
Yeah, the modern ones are much more dating sim like, which
Sounds excellent.
that that's not a plus for me. I'm sorry. That's not my thing. Okay. I think those are like the definitely no not
We
qualified to
don't
talk
know what we're
about.
talking about yet.
Okay, so now let's get to some real good ones. Starfox.
Oh, yeah. The best because it's actually the first Star Fox I played. Star Fox Adventure.
Really?
Adventures? Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
man, that game was my jam. I played through it like 3 times.
Is that the one with the dinosaurs?
Heck yeah, it's the one with the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good game. That was a good game. I'm gonna say best one. I really liked Command on the DS, but I can't like reasonably say that's the best one. 64 is the best one. Star Fox 64.
Yeah, if I had to choose one in the more like original style, I'd unpopular opinion. I think I'd have to go with Star Fox Zero. I actually liked the controls on that. Everyone's like they're straight garbage, but I liked being able to shoot somewhere else while
Yeah,
driving, flying in like a different
driving.
direction. I actually really enjoyed that. It did make things difficult at times, but I thought it was cool, and it
I
made
think I
co-op
think the
a lot better.
disappointing thing about that is that the controls aren't that it's not traditional in controls, but the story's like exactly a repeat of 64. It's the exact same
Yeah,
plot.
and it is really short. I will give it that.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the game.
Um I'm probably going to go with the first one being the worst one, even though it's probably my favorite Andross, the polygonal
Wait,
face.
I was like, didn't you just say the first one was the best one?
No, 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 the first one on the Super Nintendo. The one that's not actually
Ah,
3D, but it's 3. It's like it was cool for the time, I'd say. I'd say like, "Whoa, 3D, what?" And then you go back and play it now and you're like, "I can't see anything. It's so bad. It's so bad."
yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. A hot take on that. I know a lot of people are big fans of the whole series, but I think 64 is the best and original is the worst. There
Yeah,
you go.
I think I gotta give. I think the Star Fox 2 as the worst, just because they made it playable and I just couldn't get through it for some reason. But I've
Man,
really enjoyed all the other ones I've played.
supposedly it's
Maybe it's
really
just I'm
short.
terrible at it.
Supposedly it's really short. Our buddy Dan from Retro Logic, definitely check them out. Sat down to play through the game for their show, and he beat it in one sitting.
I think it's only like 40 minutes or something.
Yeah. So I was like, oh wow, okay. I only knew he was. I only knew he beat it that fast because he's like, "Gotcha, Andros." He sent me a message. So yeah, that's my take. I liked Command on the DS. I gotta give a shout out to that one. Um, yeah, but 64 was really good. So good that they redid it like 4 times with the exact same plot and controls and everything.
Yep.
Anyways, moving on. Let's talk Kirby.
This one's easy. The best Kirby game, without a doubt, is Kirby Air Ride.
I agree with you,
No
100%.
question.
100%. I love Kirby Air Ride. That is a
That game
great game.
was so good.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. I like that one a lot. Worst Kirby game. The worst Kirby game of all
What's
time.
that Kirby Clash?
That's a
That's what I'm
great
thinking
game.
of.
I really like Kirby Clash, but yeah, I could see
I
people
was
saying that's the
not a
worst.
fan.
I, I don't know, man. I so I agree. Air Ride is up there, but best of all time, I'm gonna give it second place. I'm gonna say best of all time probably is Kirby's Return to Dreamland on the Wii. I feel like it was like the peak of 2D Kirby. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people that like a lot of the games after that, but that one just had the 4 player co op. It had all the powers. You could play as King DDD and Waddle Dee. You could play as Waddle Dee with a spear. That was pretty cool. And Meta Knight. Um, worst game.
It's okay. You can say Kirby Clash.
I was gonna maybe say Epic Yarn.
Wow.
I didn't really think it's just it was way too easy. Way too easy. But I also like the art style of that one a lot. I think that one's fun for its art.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that one was definitely targeting a younger audience, it seemed.
Maybe I'll just go with the latest one, Star Allies. Star Allies? Is that what it's called?
Maybe.
The friendship one.
But that sounds right.
I played the demo and was like, this is boring and super easy and super generic looking. It just wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't a top selling Switch game. I'll tell you that. All right, so yeah, we'll go with that. What did you have one for worst? What was your worst?
Yeah, Kirby
Kirby Clash. You're
Clash.
gonna go with Kirby Clash. Wow.
I'm gonna go with Kirby Clash.
So I feel like
I was not a fan. It was just so boring. You
okay.
like fight bosses, but it's like, oh, you got to beat them in the time limit, not
Kirby
because.
Clash is one of the few Kirby games I've gotten to the credits on. Which is funny. I will admit I don't think it's the best Kirby game, but for some reason it hooked me in. I like it.
Yeah, it just seems like to progress, you don't necessarily have to be good. You just have to grind and get the right equipment. Because it's like no matter how good you are, if you don't have good enough equipment, you can't beat them within the time limit.
Yeah.
Just, I didn't like that.
Okay. Donkey Kong.
I'll let you go first this time.
Best Donkey Kong game. It's gonna go to Donkey Kong Country. One or two. Probably go with one. Probably go with one. Donkey Kong Country 1. Because the second one doesn't even have Donkey Kong like as a playable character in it. So I feel like it'd be weird to give it to that. So Donkey Kong Country, the first one, and the worst Donkey Kong game. Donkey Kong Jr. Arcade. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna go with arcade titles. Gosh, let's see. Might get some heat for this opinion, but I'm gonna say Donkey Kong Country Returns. I didn't think it was good. We had it. I tried it. I tried it on multiple occasions. I just could not get into it. Not as good as Donkey Kong Country. Mm-mm. Nope.
Yeah, say my favorite Donkey Kong game is in Nintendo Land. That little roller thing where you tilt the gamepad left and right.
All
I
right.
love that game. I love that game. It was incredible.
It's not a Donkey Kong game though. I mean, it is Donkey Kong
It
game.
is a Donkey. It's a Donkey Kong Crash Course or something like that. I believe, and it was great.
Okay.
And I guess if not that one, I actually am going to give the. It makes it sound like I'm copying you because I specifically said you can go first. I was also going to give Donkey Kong Country the best, and Donkey Kong Country Returns the worst. I mean, pretty much Donkey Kong Country is one of the only Donkey Kong games I've played enough to have an opinion on. So that's why I got to give it
Yeah.
the second best.
Donkey Kong Country Returns. I'm not a fan of the new Donkey Kong Country. I didn't. I still
Yeah,
have yet to get into Tropical Freeze. I've tried. Everybody's like, "This
yeah,
is the
I think
greatest platformer ever. This is even better than Mario." No. Mm-mm.
it was okay. But yeah, I think I got a Redbox movie or something, and they're like, you can get a free game for a day, and I got Donkey Kong Country Returns and tried that. Unless I'm thinking the wrong Donkey Kong game, but I believe that was the one. And I was like, no, this is just all right. I played like an hour, and then it's like we can return these.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. Donkey Kong Country. The best and the worst. um. Yeah. Okay. I'm jumping all over my list here, so sorry if I'm. Let's go Pikmin. Pikmin. Pikmin.
I gotta. It's actually kind of tough. I feel I don't know. I never actually finished Pikmin 3. At least not all like the side missions afterwards.
All right.
But I I feel like I still got to give it to that one over Pikmin 2. I don't know why I never really got an urge to play Pikmin 3, but then when I did play it, I played it for like 3 hours, and I was like, this is great. But
You got to finish that
yeah,
one. Maybe we both have to play through that one at the same time.
yeah, don't make it a contest, or I'll beat it in like 2 days.
Well, there's co-op, isn't there?
Is there co-op?
Is it only local?
It's not online, is it? I mean, I have it for the
Wii U.
the
Yeah.
Wii U. Yes, I forgot the name of the console.
That's okay. So did everybody else. Oh, okay.
Most people just never learned the name of the console.
Accurate. Okay, so Pikmin. I'm gonna give it to. So you're saying Pikmin 3, and then what's
Yeah,
worst
actually,
is
yeah.
2. Is that what you're?
I guess I gotta say the first one is the worst, partially because I haven't played it. I really enjoyed 2 and 3.
Okay.
And I felt like they're actually very comparable.
I'm gonna go with the exact same answer. Pikmin 3 Deluxe is the best Pikmin, and Pikmin 1 is the worst. But Pikmin 1 is still pretty good, apparently. I haven't played it. Played Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I haven't finished it, but I have enjoyed what I've played. Yep. Moving on to Animal Crossing. This is you want me to go first?
Best.
Oh, you go.
Sure.
You should go first since you
best
don't have...
Animal Crossing, of course, New Horizons, but also worst Animal Crossing, New Horizons, because it is the only Animal Crossing game I have played.
I think you can give the worst to the worst game, which I will
Pocket
name.
Camp.
Which I will name, even though I have not played it. And that is the worst Animal Crossing is Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
I've heard great things about that.
Oh, one. Have you? I've not.
Oh, yes. So many people loved it, I heard.
So when you have a failing console, the best thing to do is to make a really cheap cash grab for amiibos in your popular franchise instead of making a mainline game in the series. Give it this. It's this series' Federation Force, if you will, except it's not good. So I don't know if Federation Force is good or not. But Amiibo Festival is bad. It's like a really, really terrible Mario Party with not really fun.
Kind of like that. What's that? That Wii game, that the game board, and it has that couples connection or whatever.
Wii Party.
Wii Party.
It's definitely
that board game mode is straight garbage.
It is definitely way worse than that. I've watched gameplay of Amiibo Festival enough to go, this is not Animal Crossing. Get this out of here. So that's the worst Animal Crossing game. The best Animal Crossing game. This is actually a tough one. I really liked Wild World. Graphically, it's probably the worst Animal Crossing. So then you go to City Folk, which is just Wild World again. But because it was just Wild World again, it felt a little icky. Like, you're like, this is just the same game. This is not even... It was like barely any new features added to the game. And then New Leaf, everybody talks about being the best one. That's like the one I haven't played. That's the only one I have not tried. So
you're just missing out on all the greatest games of their series.
I will give it to New Horizons as well. I feel like it's a very polished Animal Crossing game and has a lot of features that the series really needed, like terraforming, a really good one, and being able to place stuff outside. A lot of cool stuff. Can you imagine Animal Crossing without being able to place stuff outside? At this point, I'm just like...
Sounds like a garbage game.
That sounds not very fun. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a very fun game. And you can't terraform? What do you do? What do you do? What did I do for, like, the 60 hours I played Wild World? I don't know.
Milked your cows or whatever. I assume they don't actually have cows in any of their games because it'd be kind of weird. I think they have cow people.
Yeah. All right. So that's Animal Crossing. Let's go to Metroid. Best Metroid game, worst Metroid game. I will go first. The best Metroid game is I think I'm gonna give it to Fusion. I really liked Fusion. I've heard really good things about Zero Mission, which was like same engine, so maybe Zero. I'll go with Zero Mission because that's like a remake of the first one, right?
To be honest, I have no idea.
And the
I
worst,
I mix up all the names of like the original
yeah, the
Metroids. I've played like
worst,
2 of them, and I don't know which ones.
the worst Metroid game. I'm just gonna say the very first one. The very first one.
Well, I mean, you're wrong, but that's okay. You're entitled to your own opinion.
What should I say? Metroid Pinball? Federation Force? I'll just say
Probably,
Federation
probably
Force.
Other M.
Oh my gosh! Forgot about that
I
game. I had
I feel like
blocked it.
that game probably receives a little more hate than it deserves. I have heard the
But the
gameplay is
original
actually not
Metroid's
bad,
better
but
than
it's
that.
just.
The original Metroid's better than that. I've got to say. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Other M. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I
What's
guess
your.
I mean, there. I did like Metroid Prime 3. They added a lot of cool things to that one, but I think I still just got to give it to the original Metroid Prime.
Okay.
That one just has a little too much nostalgia for me. I think I've played through it like 4 times at this point. But I mean, Metroid Prime 3, Corruption, pretty close.
So two is not up there as good as 1 and 3.
No, it's probably my least favorite, I guess. But I mean, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. Worst. What's the worst one? You're gonna say Other M as well?
Yeah, I think I gave it to Other M. It was so bad that I didn't actually even buy it.
Yeah.
I just heard so many
So
bad reviews.
that's actually surprising that it was reviewed so poorly that you didn't buy it. Because that
Yeah,
seems very out of
I
character. Like you would have been like, I
I
will buy
surprised
this.
even myself.
I think we're both glad that we didn't get it because of what they did to the characters more than it. I just don't like that they I don't like that they gave her this like really whiny backstory that kind of killed her cool bounty hunter character she was.
It it's kind of like what they sort of did to Tomb Raider, Lara Croft. I feel like they're trying to go for that same sort of thing, but it did not work out very well.
Yeah. All right. Metroid. Other M's the worst. And so then we're moving to like this is like the big name. Metroid was up there with close to big name.
Close
Pokemon.
to big name.
Pokemon. I'll let you go first on this one. What's the best Pokemon game and the worst Pokemon game?
What do you think? I think is the best Pokemon game. I feel like I've mentioned it enough times.
Crystal.
Oh heck yeah, Crystal all the way.
But do you like Crystal
Easily.
more than Heart Gold, Soul Silver on the DS?
I mean, those ones are probably technically better,
Mm-hmm.
but there's. I mean, you have to compare it. I guess I'm kind of comparing to when they came out.
Okay.
When Pokemon Crystal came out, it's so good, and then Pokemon Heart Gold is kind of like a remake of it, and I feel like I guess things. I want my Pokemon games to be even better at that point, but I feel like it was just practically the same. And then worst, even though I actually kind of love this game, Hey You Pikachu. So
Ah.
Pikachu would not freaking do anything you told it to after you get past the tutorial. It's like, forget you, I'm gonna go electrocute everything you love.
Yeah, it was
But
kind of.
also that game is a blast. But also the worst.
I am going to say the best one is. I so My only hesitancy for Heart Gold and Soul Silver is that I am not crazy about the plot line of those games. What being that the big boss isn't there, and the bad guys in that one feel shoehorned in. The Team Rocket kind
Big
of like
boss.
Team Rocket kind of shows up and they're like, "Hey, Giovanni, come back," and then he
And
doesn't.
the big boss is Trainer Red, yo. How much
Yeah,
better does it get?
that is very cool. No, I'm talking about the bad guys. Trainer Red is not a bad guy. He's just the champion that you have to challenge.
Yeah.
He's an
But
edgy teen.
at that point, I feel like Pokemon games are focusing more on you becoming champion. And there were
Mm-hmm.
also some bad guys that happened. It seems like a lot of these newer ones are like, oh man, there's all these bad guys you have to beat up.
Oh,
But you can
absolutely
also
not.
be
No,
you
no,
can
no,
also become the champion. Or
no.
some of them at least have been.
They did get that way. So you
Yeah,
got this.
I
You've got
shouldn't
this
necessarily the
like
newer ones, but some of them.
yeah. I
And
so like the first game, it's like, oh man, Team Rocket is going to they're trying to take over the world. They're a bunch of meanie beanies. Beat them up. And then the second game, it's Team Rocket again, and they're like, "Oh no, Giovanni, come back!" And then he doesn't. Team Rocket's gone. And then you've got, let's see, so that's is next Ruby Sapphire.
I think so.
So in that one, you've
I
got rival gangs fighting each other, and they're attempting to end the world essentially. Well, they're attempting to each do
Sounds
one's
cool.
trying to raise the ocean, and the other one's trying to get
Trying
more
to-
land.
Yeah.
And then
Bunch of
you've
weirdos.
got I'm not gonna go through every single one, but you got Diamond, Big Bado that's trying to end the world. And Pearl. Gosh, what is after that one? Is it XY? XY is after that one, and they also have a Big Bado trying to
There's black and white between those, right?
Black and White. Yep, Black and White definitely has
So I haven't had.
Bados trying to end the world.
Yeah,
And
I guess
then
I kind of just like the simpler storyline. I guess your goals become the champion and collect Pokemon and whatnot.
well,
But then there's also some other things that happen.
then you get to Sun and Moon, and the bad guys are just like really derpy criminals that are like, "Oh yeah, we're Team Skull." They're like throwing gang signs that are just like really bad. Do you remember this? Did you play? Oh gosh,
I
it's
don't know why. I
terrible.
just really derpy criminals.
Yeah, they are really they're just so dumb. And they do not have it's by comparison to the previous games where criminal organizations are attempting to end the world. These guys just are like a joke. And then they were just so bad that after that they're like, well, we just won't have bad guys anymore. So in Sword Shield, I don't think they have any bad guys. There's basically like riffraff, um,
Just random turds,
punk.
essentially.
Well, they're technically a gang, I guess, but they're not really a gang, and they do not have any sort of evil plan. They're just punk teenagers, man. That's why it's and so they've totally gone away from the bad guys. So, in fact, Sword and Shield, you might say they've totally gone away from a plot at all. So maybe it's something you'd like.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
I so that's why I say Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I don't necessarily care for the story in that one, but all the features. You got the little Pokey Walker. That thing was awesome.
Oh yeah, 16 gyms.
You got to fight Brock again, and this time he has a shirt.
Boo.
It's like a sweater, actually. He wears a sweater. You're like, oh, he's definitely aged. He's matured. He's gone from being shirtless, ripped Brock to sweater Brock. And yeah, that is a great game. So I'll give it to Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And the worst Pokemon game. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm probably I can't say Sword Shield. I didn't play enough to really smack that one down. maybe Pokemon Rumble.
What?
Mm-hmm. Quest. How about the? Oh yeah, Pokemon Quest.
Oh yeah, Pokemon Quest. Yeah, that was kind of lame.
That's the worst.
Also, I had never really played Pokemon Rumble. I believe they had a demo for it or something.
Yeah, it was like a little. You play as little toys, and I don't. I didn't enjoy it, but I enjoyed Pokemon Quest less. So Pokemon Quest is the worst for me. Okay, the final two we're gonna cover. Let's talk Mario. We'll do Mario first.
Yeah. Oh.
What do you say? Best Mario, worst Mario, and Mario has a lot that we can talk about.
Yeah.
So
And I think I got to give best to Mario Odyssey.
I
I just all the movement and controls were real nice.
yeah.
But honorable mention to Mario Strikers Charged.
Okay.
That was pretty great. And man, I have no idea for the worst. I'm pretty sure I had one picked out and then I forgot what it was.
Oh darn.
But, but yeah, I mean, there's also just so many Mario games. I should probably just give it to Color Splash or Sticker Star, Paper Mario.
Paper Mario Sticker Star.
I've heard a lot of terrible things about those, mostly from you.
Mostly for me. I didn't play either of them. I don't know how you heard those
What?
from me. Well, I played Color Splash. I did not like
Color
Color
Splash,
Splash.
that must be the one.
Yeah, Sticker Star I didn't
Let's
play.
dig it up.
Sticker Star is supposedly the worst in the series. So
Yeah, one of those two.
yeah, let's go Sticker Star. That's good. That's a good pick. I am going to say the worst is Mario Party 9.
Ooh.
The one where you're playing in a car.
I mean, that sounds awesome.
It's not.
If there was a little more road rage involved.
No, you share a car. All of you move as one piece, basically. So it's like, oh, it's Mario's turn, and he moves to the driver's seat, and then you move forward that many spaces, move forward that many spaces. It's funny how much that messes up the Mario Party formula. Like, I am blown away at how that, like, ruins how you play, because you are just zero invested into the game when it's not
And
your
what
turn.
yeah.
Because you have no idea what's coming up, and you can't. It's just bad design, bad idea.
Not as bad as Allies. And
No, that's a great idea. That was a
no, that
fantastic
was
feature.
straight garbage. I just remember last time we played, I rolled very poorly at first, which allowed you to get like 2 allies right off the bat. And then you're just rolling so much because of all these allies. You kept getting a bajillion more allies.
Yeah, it was great.
And they're like, let's have a mini game where it's you against me and 5 allies.
Tug of war.
Yeah. Straight garbage. They literally didn't hit anything and won. I think we actually played it was doubles.
Yeah.
When we played, but
I feel like there's so much potential for the Mario Party series. So I'm hopeful for the next one. Super Mario Party was a step in the right direction, especially from 9 and 10. So yeah, it's the worst. Best Mario game. Hotel Mario. Just kidding. I have not played Hotel Mario, and that probably would be the worst one if I'd played it. That's the one with like all the really bad cartoon cutscenes. Have you seen those? They're almost along the lines of the Zelda CDI game.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Ugh, they're so bad. But I will give it to Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey for sure. Yeah. It's just so good. Just Mario's controls just are the most satisfying of any Mario game.
Yeah, just like traversing like anything is enjoyable.
It makes me a little sad. Because do you think they'll keep the hat as a mechanic for future games? Because I feel like it's gonna be like Flood and kind of just go away.
Yeah, I probably would
which
get
is a
rid of it,
bummer.
but they just got to come up with another really cool mechanic, I
Yeah,
guess.
but I'm gonna miss all the stuff you can do with the hat as far as
Yeah,
movement. The power ups are cool in and of itself, like being able to take over any enemy that doesn't have a hat on. and
yeah,
but the ability to throw the cap and dive onto the cap for an extended jump, spin it
oh
around
yeah,
to attack enemies. There's a lot you could do with the cap for traversal. So I don't know. I especially playing Bowser's Fury. I just kept going like I wish I had Cappy. Like I just kept wishing I had that movement back because it's so satisfying. It's the best. All right, let's talk about the final series here as we wrap up our episode, and that is the best and the worst of Zelda. This is gonna be a tough one, I think. I have
yeah.
been giving this some thought this whole time, trying to build up to it, and I just do not know where I'm gonna put my best and worst for the series.
Yeah. I mean, worst. I mean, obviously Ocarina of Time because
How
it's
do you
terrible.
how do I kick you out of this call? How do I just end this?
The Ocarina of Time was great. Yeah, I'm struggling to think of a worst Zelda game. uh,
What are you gonna put for your best?
I think I got to give it to Breath of the Wild.
All right, yeah.
And best not open world, I think I might give it to Wind Waker, actually. That is the one I've played through the most. Um, but worst, I'm trying to think of all like the some of the 2D ones that weren't quite as good. But I mean, I've enjoyed every Zelda game I've played. So I'll let you say your first, your best, I mean, first, and then give me some time to think.
Gosh, I don't know. I have such a hard time with this. I Breath of the Wild is so different. It's
Yeah,
so different from the rest of the series that putting that as the best makes it hard because I feel like it writes off the rest
you're
of the series.
discounting everything else. Yeah,
All the lead up to Breath of the Wild is what makes Breath of the Wild so good as well. It's a part of what makes Breath of the Wild so good in that they had a formula going and they didn't necessarily they totally changed up the formula while keeping a lot of the elements and pieces and lore and characters that were just so good.
yeah.
They like kept all the best and just enhanced it. So Breath of the Wild, out of all Zelda games, probably the best one, but it's also one of the weakest ones as far as story goes. If we're being honest,
Yeah.
best story. Wind Waker's up there as far as stories because it has a lot of twists and turns with the plot that are really good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anyone hasn't played it yet. I guess this will be a little spoiler, but it's kind of like the reverse twist of Ocarina of Time. What I guess it's
It's the
I guess
same
it's the same twist.
same twist.
Wait, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
but there's also the so as far as
Yeah.
stories go, Ocarina of Time definitely has the best story
Yeah.
of any
I guess I was
Zelda.
just trying to say because she didn't know either.
Yeah. So Breath not Breath of the Wild, but Ocarina of Time has like the best story, and its gameplay is really good. It holds up, man. I played it semi recently with the 3DS remake, and I still really enjoyed it. So it's very close for me. I'm probably gonna give the edge to Breath of the Wild. Uh, I fired that up to play Terrytown, and I'm just like, this game is so good. It just feels good to play. Another one like Mario Odyssey, where you're just like, The movement, everything about this just feels great. Ocarina of Time at times feels clunky. The movement feels clunky. But the story and all the elements of the world are just so good in that one.
Yeah.
That it makes up for that for me. And story wise and exploration wise. Yeah. So those are very close, but Breath of the Wild's gonna take best and worst. Tingle's Rupee. No, I'm just kidding. Tingle's Rupee Land of Love. There's one of them where he's like basically playing the Wizard of Oz. It's pretty funny. No, I am going to give the worst Zelda game title. The reason I originally brought this whole topic up is because so many people say that Skyward Sword is the worst Zelda game. False. Absolutely false. Is it the worst 3D Zelda game? Let's see, what do we got to compare it with? We got Breath of the Wild, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind
Princess,
Waker,
say that?
Twilight Princess. Maybe it's the worst of the 3D Zelda games, but
you gotta chop down those like bambooish trees.
But the
with
worst
the
of the
control,
3D Zelda games
awesome.
is still better than like 80% of video games in existence. So just throwing that out there. If you didn't play it because you saw the reviews and thought that motion controls were gross, get out. Like, it's a great game. It's good. It's very good. It's very fun. It's a good Zelda game. I liked it a lot. I played through the entire game, which I think every Zelda game I've played, I've played to completion. But that one, I played to completion, and I think I 100%ed that game. I got the Hylian Shield, all the heart containers. I did all the Dragon Quest stuff. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I 100% that game. Did all the side quests. Yeah, it was a fun game. It was a really good game. Do not sleep on it coming out on Switch. If you haven't tried it, give it a shot. Give it a shot for sure. So that one's not the worst Zelda game. That's up there with some of the best Zelda games. Which all Zelda games are good. That's where I'm having a hard time coming up with like the worst.
Almost all Zelda
even
games.
side games like Link's Crossbow Training.
Crossbow Training.
Awesome game. I love that game. So I
think I got Legend of Zelda 2.
That's where I think I'm gonna put it as well. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. It's probably Legend of Zelda 2. Which is funny because I think there's a lot of potential with that formula. I would love to see them revisit it. I liked the idea of an open world, not open world, but like it's top-down segments, and then when you get to the levels, it's a 2D side scroller. That's fun. I thought that was a good idea. It's just the game was really hard and obtuse. Like really, didn't give you anything. I mean,
and
translation
it's not
errors.
As fun.
I am error. That is what literally one of the first town people says. I am error to you because
maybe that's not an error. That's just his name.
My name is Error. My name is Error. Yeah. It's a secret to everybody. Yeah. Right. So I just want to reemphasize that Skyward Sword is not the worst Zelda game. It is pretty good. It's not the best Zelda game, but if you're just playing the best of every series, why? No, there's so many other really good games. What if you only play? I will only play the very best that this series has ever made.
Well, you gotta wait until the series is for sure done coming out with games then before you play any.
I am excited for it to come out again on Switch and for people to give it a fair shake with.
You don't even have to play with motion controls anymore.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I hope that it gets a boost and everybody goes, "Oh, this game's really good. Why did people not like it?" And then we can take all those critics that are big whiner babies about motion controls. Now, I do gotta say, the motion controls does lead to a big
We're awesome.
accessibility issue. If you do not have capability to play with motion controls, that's a bummer, you know? So some people just didn't get to play it, but now they will. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Well, this has been episode 30. Kind of all over the place as far as news, rumors, and what we think was best and worst. But this was a fun conversation, I'd say. Oh my goodness. I was going to lead the episode with announcements. Maybe I'll just tag this on the front. I'll tag this on the front, but I'll shout it out again here. We are going to be doing a community game night this coming Friday with we are going to be playing Among Us on, hopefully the new map will be updated and out for the Switch, and we'll be playing some Mario Kart and another game which I believe we are going to be playing Smash Bros. It's the last one. So if you have not already, join up our Discord, become part of these awesome community game nights, which we're doing pretty much monthly. We're doing a game night as a community. And you can also follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, and that is at Nintendo Pals and at Nintendo Pals. At Nintendo Pals Podcast on Instagram, at Nintendo Pals on Twitter. And we just started a TikTok for the podcast.
Oh boy.
Look up Nintendo Pals Podcast to see our single TikTok as of right now. No, maybe by the time this is posted, I'll put something else up there. I just
maybe we'll just leave the
one
yet. Forever.
This will just be one.
Yeah.
Please come give us a follow. What are they called on TikTok? Come give us a talk.
Yeah.
Come give us a tic-tac on those TikToks. Gosh, I sound like such an old man. I feel like an old man using that platform.
I've never actually used TikTok, so I know nothing about it.
Yeah. So there you have it. We're on all the platforms. And please, if you could, hop over on your podcast listening app of choice or another one. If your podcast listening app of choice does not provide the ability to give a 5-star review, first off, be like, whoa, I need to give this podcast a 5-star review. I will go to another platform and give them a 5-star review. So, okay, let's not make this complicated. Leave us a 5-star review wherever you can leave us a 5-star review. Be like out on like Wendy's restaurant. Be like, I love this podcast. 5-star review. Just some random website. 5-star review, some words, Metroid Prime 4 love, if that's what you want to put on there. Because and subscribe to us on those platforms, because it actually shows those numbers to other people that go onto the platform. They look and they go, "Oh, this has been subbed to by this many people." And "Oh, there's this many star reviews on it. It must be good or it must be bad." So please don't leave a bad review. Leave a good review.
Yeah, I mean, why would you go through all the effort if you're planning on leaving a bad review? It just doesn't seem worth the time.
I mean, maybe they're just they really don't like us, and they've listened this far to the point where I'm asking, and they're like, "Absolutely, I'm going to."
They're like, that. You know what? 30 episodes in, I think I hate these guys. 1 star,
5-star review, and give us follows on those platforms. It does help us out. Helps us get seen, and there's a lot of podcasts out there doing very similar stuff to what we do here, but no one is quite as awesome as we are, I'd say. They're all pretty good though. That sounded just super like I'm gonna put everyone down but put us up. That's not true. I consume podcasts like mad.
We're not saying they're bad, we're just incredible.
Yeah, it's hard to compete with, Breath of the Wild level perfection, right? And that's what this cast is, the Breath of the Wild of podcasts. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for listening, and we will close out with a closing remark by Micah.
Well, I guess I just gotta say, Donkey Kong Crash Course, Nintendo Land, the best Donkey Kong game.
Thanks for listening, y'all.